Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is Mike's Talks and Thoughts here. Back again with another video for you guys, and today I'm going to be having another versus battle, kind of like what I did with Freaks and Geeks versus Undeclared, but this time it's not going to be for TV shows, but how you watch your TV shows. Talking about whether you should be a physical media person or a streaming person. Each person is going to be different and vary. Some people are kind of a mix of both. Like me, I have some physical media. And here is my physical media copies, such as Breaking Bad, How I Met Your Mother. I have other stuff behind me as well that I use for physical media watching that I have used in the past, or I really like checking out special features on, which I will get into for physical media. But then there's also streaming. I have Hulu on streaming, and I've also used Netflix and HBO Max on free trials, and there's a lot of streaming services out there for you. So yeah, I'm going to just get into the pros and some cons, mainly pros for physical media versus streaming, give the pros for both, and talk about which one is best for you. Now, the pros here with physical media, starting out with, you get to own what you want and it is yours forever. So unlike with streaming where, it's just a wide array of a lot of things, with physical media, you can buy your favorite shows ever and just keep watching them constantly. This is a great way for rewatchability, and it's yours forever. It's never going to go away. It's never going to be taken off of the site. For streaming, you're going to be able to have it forever. Sometimes that technology that it's on might go out of date, but it's never going to, you're never going to lose possession of it. So that is a big pro with physical media. Next, here, piggying back off of what I just said with streaming services, for physical media, why it is a pro to have physical media over streaming is, for streaming, unless you are with a big family or someone, really, you have to pay like almost $50 a month. Like if you're paying for cable and streaming, it's almost like just not gonna work. Like, because streaming, there's just so much out there that if you want to watch a wide array of shows, you're gonna have to pay like $50 a month for streaming services. Because HBO is like $15 a month, Netflix is like $10. Hulu's like $6, Amazon Prime, you got Apple TV, Peacock. It just goes on and on and on. It's just getting ridiculous. Before, when it was just Netflix and everything was on Netflix, it was just so much easier. But yeah, that is one of the reasons why physical media is a pro. You don't have to keep spending that every single month and worrying about whether your show is going to be taken off, because they cycle through shows all the time, like The Office on Netflix, and then it moved to Peacock. If you didn't have Peacock and you just had Netflix, you couldn't watch The Office no more. The next pro here for physical media is going to be that you get extra features that you may not be able to find anywhere else. While they have uploaded some onto YouTube, of course, they may not all be there, and they will be exclusive to you on your physical media copy, whether you have a DVD, a Blu-ray, a 4K. They are upgrading as technology is upgrading. But yeah, you can find bonus features, deleted scenes, bloopers, gag reels, a whole bunch of extra stuff that you might enjoy if you really enjoy that show. Another reason why physical media has a pro here on streaming is nostalgia and personal collection reasons. If you're someone who really likes having a nice collection, or you're a collector, having a physical media collection is great. I mean, you can organize it really good. You can make it look really nice. You can be like, go up and show people like, I have all this great stuff and media to watch, and it's just really nostalgic. You can look back on the years and be like, wow, I have this copy of, say, Breaking Bad, a DVD copy that I got back when the show was first starting, or something like that. Just very nostalgic, and is personal to you, the experiences you had buying each of the physical media format. And then the last pro here for physical media, this is going to be something that's not going to happen until the way future. This is going to be something that is sort of an investment Now, I'm not sure how this market is going to go with physical media, but down the road here, say in 30, 40, 50 years, some of these copies of shows that you have could be very well rare or just outdated, like out of print. Of course, they're going to be out of print at that time, but just very, very rare to find. So, say, like, for example, I have a Parks and Rec DVD collection, and most of them end up being damaged or just not found, or a series that was not printed a lot, and then you have one of the only copies out there. That is going to rise in price for you if you want to make an investment and sell that in the future. This is, of course, not a for sure thing that's going to happen, but I could definitely see over time these prices going up. Of course, even with VHS tapes, those aren't even that old, and some of them are really valuable. So, yeah, that is a big pro for physical media if you want to make a profit later on. But now here I want to talk about streaming. Now, of course, streaming has kind of been said as the new age or the better way. But like I said, I'm going to be comparing them and seeing what's right for you. But yeah, let me give you the pros for streaming. So the first is going to be convenience. It's just going to be much easier to stream something than it is going to be watching on a physical media format. Streaming, all you gotta do is go on your device, whether you're going to be watching it on a TV or your phone, and you're just a couple clicks away, and then you can watch it. Of course, you do have to worry about Wi-Fi and all that stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty convenient. With physical, you have to go out, find, if you have a big collection, find what you're looking for and put in each disc individually. Usually they're broken up like big series. They can be over 50 discs, and it just kind of becomes cluttered. So for convenience wise, I would say streaming is a big pro for that. Another reason for streaming, of course, is going to be quality purposes. Now this, like I said in my physical media, it has been increasing. It went from DVDs to Blu-rays to 4Ks, which of course 4Ks is almost pristine condition for the shows. But every time in streaming, you're going to see them in 720 or 1080p HD quality. A lot of these older DVDs and of course VHSs, the quality isn't really great for those shows, but they are definitely going to be in a lot better quality watching on streaming. Another pro for streaming is going to be quantity. If you're a big someone who really likes watching a lot of stuff in quantity, this is going to be for you for a lot less price. So even though it can be $15 a month or $10 a month for streaming, you get thousands of stuff. Like if you're someone who is a really constant watcher and you watch like almost everything, you watch like say 10, 15 shows in a month, like just watching random episodes, streaming is going to be for you because that is just going to cost a lot more to get each and every one of those in physical media format. Physical media is definitely better if you want to keep like your favorites or a tight-knit collection, but the more you start expanding out in that, the harder it gets. Of course, taking up space and also just being harder to find stuff. So for me, for just finding quantity, streaming is going to be the way to go. Another pro here we have for streaming over physical media is, of course, what I mentioned earlier. It's newer technology. It's going to be equipped more for the future. As technology expands and increases, streaming is going to become more advanced and it's going to adapt a lot better than physical media will. And physical media, if they even ever do adapt, they're going to be far behind what streaming's at. So streaming in that case is just a much easier option for how technology is moving towards the future. And then the last pro here that I have for streaming over physical media is you don't have to worry about this stuff getting broken, damaged, or stolen. Of course, the physical media, you could scratch a disc or break a disc, or someone could end up stealing it, or falling off a shelf or something. Something could happen with it to where it gets ruined, and then you got to go out, and if you want to get the whole set again, unless you have like a warranty or something, you have to go out and buy a whole new set if you want every single disc and whatnot. But with streaming, you don't really have to worry about that. Of course, when you're watching it, you don't have to worry about a physical or tangible object that could get problems or have problems with it later on. But yeah, those are some of the pros and cons to both. I kind of mentioned a lot in between or entangled with each other that kind of piggyback off one another. But what's going to be best for you? Now, most people nowadays are definitely going to say streaming. I am kind of someone who likes both. For me, for physical media, I love collecting some of my favorite shows. Just back there, I have some of my favorite shows of all time. I just love having those in a physical media format. But I also am hesitant because I have Hulu, and one of my favorite shows of all time is Prison Break. And I do not feel comfortable paying like the 70 or 80 bucks for Prison Break on physical media when I already have it available to me on Hulu. So that is one up on streaming for sure, where streaming has the edge. But for you, I would say if you're someone who is really into collections and you really like having something that's more personalized to you, that you really like, go out and buy the physical media. And if you have the space, do that. But if you're someone who just likes to relax, kick back, just watch a show, while you do have your favorites, you just like watching a whole bunch of shows, and you're someone who, while you want to have a good collection, it's not something that's really near and dear to your heart, go with streaming. Streaming is definitely more geared towards the future, but of course investments later down the road for physical media, it all just depends on you. But those are my thoughts. For me personally, I am more in the streaming side, even though I really don't like paying for these services, and I don't like how they're expanded out. If everything was exclusively on Netflix, how it was when it first started, that streaming would easily win, because streaming just it's just more convenient. Everything's in the one place. But now that there's like 20 different services, it's just so difficult to acquire and pay for each and every single one of them, because there may be shows on other services that you really want to watch, but you're like, I don't feel like paying the $5 or $6 a month for that service. And some people just can't afford it. They live paycheck to paycheck, and they can't afford to pay for streaming like that. So for me, I would say streaming is my go-to over physical media, but do not rag on physical media. It is still a great option, especially for big-time collectors and people who just want a nostalgic blast. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this versus video, and hopefully that helps you make a decision or kind of gears you in the right direction of how you want to watch your TV moving forward. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and peace.